Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Have a motion to adopt the agenda.
Motion to adopt agenda?
Have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, the secretary's report.
Reads exactly for last month.
Everything
Good to
good?
go, yeah.
Motion to accept.
Motion to accept secretary's report?
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Treasurer's report.
So last month we started with a opening balance on $823,107.57. 20 credits against the account for $37,337.13. 43 debits to the account, $240,777.44, leaving an ending balance of $619,667.26. I ask for approval of the audit.
Have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approval of the bills.
I ask for approval to pay the bills for this last month in the amount of $150,305.55.
Entertain a motion.
Make a motion.
Have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Chief and Fire Marshal's reports.
Chief's report, 16 December 2024. Well, that's goofy. Okay. It's gonna fight me now. Fleet status, truck 17, engine. I mean, hold on, give me a second here. This thing. You gotta be able to read it. I apologize. We'll do it this way. Truck 17, engine 1212. Good lord.
Where's Kenny when you need him?
There we go. Yeah, where's Kenny at? Trailer 1299 has been taken to ODN for the refit of the phones and the SATCOMs and the Wi-Fi stuff. They also added antennas that we needed for the additional radios and should be back in a couple of weeks. They actually contacted me today and should be like this week. So that'll be pretty cool if they can get it done before the Christmas. Brush 36 had its preventative maintenance done, oil changes completed at JC Tire and Auto. Truck 17, engine 1212, we're still waiting on the parts to repair these two units. Truck 17's ground ladder, our vendor ordered the wrong ladder for replacement, so we have one of the ground ladders that failed the ladder test this year, and they ordered me a roof ladder instead of an extension ladder, so we're now waiting on the proper ladder. Squad 12, one of the truck batteries failed on Squad 12, like badly. It's starting to smell like rotten eggs. Upon inspection, all 6 batteries were bad, so we replaced all those. Engine 52, as previously reported, had a blown head gasket. The head needed to be redecked, and upon reinstalling, was found that the wrong bolts were sent to Garber with the head. So now we're waiting on bolts. New Brush 26, Chevrolet lost their wheel supplier. So Jim Butler had a unit already on order. They're comparing the build sheets, and if it's comparable, then we may have the truck sooner than I thought, like end of this month. So that being said, I went ahead and ordered a skid unit to avoid a 2025 price hike, and 2, to be ready if the truck got here. And Captain Moreland has already ordered all the lights, sirens, tool mounts, things like that. So once the truck gets here, we should have it serviced pretty quick. Assistant Chief Weberg is working to complete the ISO inventory sheets. We will most likely be ordering some hose to replace what has been damaged or failed in testing, as well as loose equipment that will cycle the old stuff down to the second out trucks. And I'll continue to report on this as we get it done. Station 1, all 4 toilets were experiencing issues. We had a leaking decon shower. So while the plumber was fixing the decon shower, just having to go through and fix all the toilets too. So Ben's Plumbing came out and took care of that. The roof replacement on headquarters and the training tower has been complete. So that's done. Go us. Station 4, we added a parking lot light to the back of the station. We never had one installed in the original build or the remodel. So when you pulled back into Station 4, it was pitch black. So I had a light added today. Staffing, firefighter Peggy Cope resigned. I have posted the open position and there is only one position, so the new hire will complete their academy requirements on shift. Unless for some reason somebody else would leave, then we'll do a full-on academy class, but with only one person, we'll do it on the truck. 2025 budget, I've met with McGrath. David Von Gruten is here tonight to explain the board health insurance changes. And we have cleared this through the shop as well to ensure collective bargaining compliance. 2025 audit, Spinner's office sent us the 2025 commitment paperwork, as well as what they wanted for the 2024 audit. So Emily compiled everything and found out we weren't supposed to get the list yet. So we are ready for the audit. Spinner's not. So we'll see how that goes. Government registrations, 2025 annual Missouri State Fire Department registration was completed. The process for renewing our federal individual ID number, cage code, and SAN.gov numbers have all been completed and received final approval. So we're done with that for another 2 years. And I have also re-signed the Department of Conservation's mutual aid agreement. Government mitigation plan. I attended the first Council of Governments Hazard Mitigation Plan planning meeting. I think we helped identify some major issues in the county, and we will be meeting several times more as the plan is due to SEMA, which is the State Emergency Management Agency, and FEMA in March. So whoever was doing this waited till the absolute last minute and then was like, oh my God, we got 3 months. This one's a little different from the local emergency planning committee's emergency operations plan, because this deals with administrative stuff as far as grants and things like that. Not so much with boots on the ground operations stuff like our emergency operations plan. So training, had a lot of that this week or this month too. 300 and 400 class was delivered with all students passing. December mutual aid will be leadership and accountability. EMT refresher will be held on December 20th. Fire Officer 1 and State Certified Aerial Operator will be held in January. The leadership class is being delivered this week by Chief Odenwald. All other classes were grant funded through the state. So we pay nothing. Good and Welfare, Engine 42 and 1200 attended the Lori Christmas Parade on November 30th. On November 22nd, class 2416 graduated and 4 firefighters were sworn in as full members, and Lieutenant McDonald was also sworn into his new position as lieutenant. Good and Welfare continued. Chief Weberg and Engine 42 attended the Shop of the Hero event at Walmart on Saturday. Sunrise Beach PD coordinates this and reported the biggest event ever with us serving 138 families. Pretty awesome. They were there a long time. Call volume, 71 alarms for the month of November, 971 alarms for 2024 to date, which that's already up another 20 since I did this. November 2024 call types: 1 structure fire, 1 vehicle fire, 4 natural cover fires, 42 EMS calls, 0 extrications, and 5 public assistance calls. 2024 to date: 29 structure fires, 5 vehicle fires, 49 natural cover fires, 573 EMS calls, 3 extrications, and 72 public assistance calls. And that's the chief's report for 16 December. Fire marshal's report, mine's a lot shorter because Kenny's on vacation. So the total November permits revenue: docks 31 at $2,335. Structural permits 5 at $5,551.88. 1 renewal at $25. We had no new occupancy and no new fireworks, for a total November revenue of $7,911.88. Year to date 2024, we had 356 dock inspections, our dock permits, 188 structural permits, 9 renewals, 1 occupancy, and 6 fireworks, for a total of 560 permits. So year-to-date permanent revenue, docks, $27,204.50. Structural permits, $103,199.67. Renewals for $225, occupancy of $100, and fireworks for $500, for a 2024 revenue of $131,229.17. Go Carey.
Well, have a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
For a second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
I
Aye.
think we're about 20,000.
No unfinished business. Move on to new business. And with that, David, you're on.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and board and everybody. Appreciate the opportunity to visit tonight. So in the middle of November, I did receive the group health insurance renewal from Anthem. And Anthem's been a partner with the district for, gosh, over 15 years now. And we've used a few strategies to try to save money and control costs and things like that. But the last 2 years now, you can see on your renewal snapshot that I did hand out. I'm sorry, Rick, I didn't have a copy.
That's all right, I'll show you.
Okay, they were proposing a sizable increase again, 13%, and just really not acceptable. So I went to the market, looked around, really could only find one option to beat it, and I've been keeping an eye on it for a while. And so this is even though it's an Anthem proposal that I'll go through in a minute, this was created under the Trump administration about, oh gosh, I guess 5-6 years ago, to give employers an opportunity to purchase benefits on a group basis rather than just having to always go direct. So this is referred to as a multi-employer welfare arrangement, to where anybody that, in order to become eligible, has to be an association member of the Missouri Chamber of Commerce, as well as locally. And so there'll be some fees for that. So Anthem teamed up with a trust fund, quite frankly, a investment firm, and created a new insurance program for the state. And it's been out now for a number of years. And it's taken a while for this to become competitive, basically, here at this account, because your rate stability had been really good for a while. But what I've noticed over the last few years is that, in my opinion, they're trying to migrate some of the groups maybe out of these pools over to this program and have it delivered this way. Because ironically, if you look at where your current premium is on the renewal snapshot at $27,000, and I'll come back to it, but if you kind of page through the proposal towards the back, I highlighted what the new monthly rate is, and it's slightly less. So Chief will be happy with that.
Yeah.
Cost is actually the insurance going to go down a little bit. That's a rarity, I will admit. But it seems like if they want to move an account over to this platform, then the rates are usually similar to what your current pricing is. And the easiest way to motivate somebody to move business is through pricing. And so with Emily's help, we did a lot of work to submit this to the service team that I use in Springfield and get all the data and information supplied. It was nice because Anthem had the claims history of the group on file, and we didn't have to do applications for all the employees. And typically to get into this, you would have to do a full underwriting like the old days where we'd have to get an app on everybody. But they were able to take a look at the loss histories, found that they were favorable. And so once we were able to finish the details of enrollment, who is going to be enrolled, what dependents, and those types of things, then just this afternoon, they finally finalized the rates. And so pleased to say that they're coming in basically the same as where you're at today. So there won't be an increase. Now the benefits aren't quite identical. I had moved some other groups prior, and sometimes, you know, everything looks, smells the same, but there's always some hidden pain points. And typically that shows up today in the pharmacy formularies. And for anybody that's in the senior market, you know, these drug changes can be very, very detrimental to the members. So we shared the network links with the chief, and he let all the members in the group personally look through those two formularies from the current plan to the new plan to see, you know, if there's any movement where the same drugs covered, is anybody basically going to be in a worse position. And we identified one member who might be in a little bit of a worse position, but given the savings to the district, I think it was discussed that maybe the district can help that member overcome that shortfall for that one script. And so I think we've done our diligence in looking at this in depth. It is quite a process, but they finalized it today. So going through this, the differences, and this just talks about some highlights of the plan. It does show the actual census enrollment, not only for the employees, but those that have dependent coverages. This group probably has more dependent participation than most employer groups because the way you guys set up your benefits, the fact that you help those families with funding in the HSAs, I think that's an attraction benefit to the district and a retaining benefit as well. Because every firefighter around the lake basically knows what every fire district's benefits are. And they kind of shop around a little bit and they're a little bit moving around from district to district based upon what some of these benefits are. And this plan definitely shines because it's rare that any other district supports the dependent side of it, not only from a cost standpoint, but also a coverage standpoint and contributing to those HSAs. And it's a challenge out there. Obviously, you guys just lost another member today and dealing with different fire districts, you know, there's typically some openings and we're having a hard time filling some of those positions. So I certainly appreciate how important these benefits can be. So we also looked at some network options, settled on the same network that's been in place with the district for over 10 years, which is a very strong Anthem network as well. So my recommendation to the district would be to change your Anthem to another Anthem program. It's a different platform. But the benefit also to the district would be instead of an age, sex-based gender premium, it's now an average cost per employee per month. And you can see on that last page, on that left column, it's 530. Might have to borrow somebody's glasses, Troy's glasses, 537 a month. So for bookkeeping or for future hires, you know exactly what that cost is going to be. It's not going to be all over the board based on a 20 versus a 60-year-old. You can plan better from a percentage increase type of managing of those costs. And hopefully we'll find a little bit more stability here. Changes always change. Not everything comes back perfect with this program as well. If this thing gets a little bit volatile, I just have to wonder where the next step may be. Because this is about 20% less than what are called community rates or Obamacare type program rates, to where if a group has some health conditions and can't overcome underwriting, then they're based on community factors. And so we've been able to keep you out of those types of programs and always beat those types of rates. But where's the next option going to be? I don't know. We'll have to find out. But hopefully this will be at least a 3 to 5 year, maybe a 10-year deal. But if I could predict the future, this would be a lot easier to do. But I'm very pleased that we were able to at least have an option to move it, not only unilaterally from a cost standpoint, but the coverage, the quality of an Anthem program, as well as the fact that they're going to give you a 14-month rate guarantee to start. I was mentioning to the chief, that's great. Take the extra 2 months. It kind of gets your renewal off cycle with January 1st, which is your contract year, calendar year conflict, but save the premium if you can a couple extra months, and we'll deal with that as we go on. So a lot of information. Any questions about the program or the changes?
Well, and when we started this, the previous plan, originally quoted at like $23,000 a year increase. And then by the time you got it to me, it was 48,000. I was like,
Yeah.
all right, then what do we do now? And then we found this. So, we sat down, I brought David in, we actually sat down with the collective bargaining unit to make sure we're all kosher on the contract. And they're good with it, I'm good with it, he's good with it. Just like you guys would be good with it this evening.
Any other questions? If not, we'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Have a second?
Second,
All in favor?
aye.
Appreciate
Thank you very
your
much.
effort, David.
I want to thank Emily personally. Without her, this wouldn't be possible. She is the rock star. Her efficiencies are remarkable, and
That seems to
I
be.
pity the fool and ever challenges.
I get a
her.
copy of that too from you.
Uh-huh.
Can I have your copy of that? Fine, thank you very much.
And there'll be a little bit more to finish up. I'm afraid to say, but I know you're working with Linda really well, and thank you for that.
Are there renewable periods to this, or is it just 14 months?
I'm sorry,
Is there a renewable period to this? Is it just a 14-month one
We renew every year.
every year?
So
they're
every year, if we start seeing increases, he starts shopping for us.
Okay.
right. And in fact, I'm in the process of that with your disability right now. Short-term's taking a jump. I've got some bids in. I'm not quite ready to present, but we should find some relief for that as well. I'm gonna look at this program and try to piggyback on. We had other lines of coverage, sometimes we get a little credit on the medical side as well. But that had been really stable for a long time, but it's taken a leap. And if anybody's seen their homeowner premiums, you know what's happening out there today. If anybody deals with condominiums and insurance, I'm sorry. That is a nightmare. American families left the market and it's just turned into a disaster. So, you know, it's similar to what's happening in Florida. And, you know, every event that happens around the country is impactful to all of us. And it's kind of scary. So I know that years ago, you know, this district was instrumental in changing how some of these projects were managed, from exposure to grills to exits and things like that. And you know, this market was always underpriced for a long time, and now that flip is happening. It's really a nightmare story. So, anyway, you're a realtor, I take it. So
I am.
it's just difficult with what's happening, and it's just going to continue, I'm afraid, as we all watch the weather and see what's happening. I don't know where this is going to go, but hopefully we'll find some stability because the package has been great from that perspective as well. But property rates are really, really volatile today. So I hold my breath every time I open these things. I'll do my best to try to keep pricing as best of mine as I can. Anyway, thank you again for.
Well, we certainly appreciate your efforts.
Let me help. All right. Y'all have a great night. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, Dave.
Okay. Thank you.
The next item is, budget. We got a budget statement there.
Yeah, so I'll read the budget message. I apologize. Something's been bothering me for like 2 weeks about what files, and it hit me today. I forgot to put the budget message in there. So, I'll read this for record and go over what I'm looking at for projects next year, and then we'll move on. As Chief Executive and Financial Officer of Sunrise Beach Fire District, I have the distinct honor and pleasure to present the district's operating budget for 2025. The budget presented reflects the projected collection and tax revenue, as well as funds earmarked for capital improvements, projects that were not completed in 2024 or slated for 2025. As stated in the 2024 budget message, one of the biggest obstacles we faced going into 2025 was the health insurance premiums. Pleased to announce that we have secured a new health insurance plan, and that was reviewed and agreed upon with the collective bargaining unit that will reduce our premium, albeit slightly, for 2025. Our line items are funded to absorb the increases expected for 2025, such as fuel, oil, utilities, retirement, and other expenses, which continue to see increases due to economic inflation. Although the line items are funded to support our current workforce, projects, and purchases listed for 2025 and/or outlined in the 5-year plan. The Prevention Office continues to issue permits for residential, commercial construction at an increased rate, which will only serve to increase the future assessments. Our district continues to grow. We continue to rise to meet those challenges with the best people, equipment, and apparatus possible to serve our community. To our board of directors, I want to say thank you for your support. We have worked together to ensure that our residents are safe and our staff are safe, taken care of, and our district is well funded to meet our residents' expectations and the goals we have set for ourselves, all in service to the community. 2025 projects listed herein: headquarters for buildings and grounds, headquarters in Station 1. I want to start erecting LED signage for announcing board meetings and red flag warnings and things like that. So I want to start with Station 1 in 2025. Complete the exterior light upgrades, which are currently in progress. Repair the exhaust capture system at Station 4, which is also currently in progress. Finish refurbing the tankers. Sonar and GPS replacement for Marine 1229. That was actually moved to 2025. It was supposed to be done this year. But getting the boat out of the water is kind of a pain in the rump. Purchase brush 26 for Station 2. And then equipment, update nozzles, appliances, and adapters for all frontline apparatus. outfit the second out units with existing and above mentioned equipment, and purchase a frontline hose that has been damaged or failed during testing. Improvement projects for 24 completed or nearing completion. Building and grounds, update to LED lighting and air handling in the bays. The lighting has been completed. Security upgrades at headquarters have been completed. Replacement of the roof and the training tower roof has been completed. Station 2, upgraded LED lighting has been completed. Station 3, updated LED lighting has been completed. And as I said, the Station 4 exhaust capture systems in progress. For the fleet, refurbish the tankers. We've got one left. And I just kind of copied this over because this is on 2024's. Purchase of brush 36 for Station 3 was completed. Placing into service special operations trailer 1299 was completed, and complete radio upgrades that were already in progress have now 100% completed. So a lot of our large projects that we had slated are now done. So now I can look on to updating apparatus and things like that. Like we've already started with 36 and 26, but engine 42 is a 2001 vintage truck that needs to be replaced, and Marine 29 is a 1986 boat that desperately needs to be replaced too. So moving forward into the future, and I'm going to rework the 5-year plan this year. Those are my two next big deals, is getting 42 replaced and 29. They did open up the grant for they didn't have it open originally this year, but then they changed it. The port security grant is now covering fireboats again this year, so I'm gonna look into getting that too. So we can do that. I love grants. So that is my report for the budget. And any questions you guys got for me?
Anybody have questions? If not, we'll entertain a motion to approve the 25 budget.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Denise, I'm gonna pass this down to you. Just need you guys to sign off on it.
With that, entertain a motion to move to closed session.
Motion to move to closed session?
Report no action date.
Okay, returning from closed session, no actions, no votes taken. And with that, there's no further business. Meeting's adjourned.